Hello again, we've got another fixed blade. This one is the Viking Seax. Now, this is not my knife. A friend left it at my house to try to sharpen it for him. I've got a feeling that's going to be quite the task because of how thick the blade is. And, well, it's a Scandinavian grind, so hopefully that'll make things a bit easier. Anyway, let's have a little look. It's quite an interesting knife. I've not really seen anything like it before. It's obviously a historical design. As I said, a Viking Seax, that's Saex, I believe. Maybe I'm getting the E and the A mixed up. Anyway, we've got a full leather sheath with a, I don't really know if you would call that a lanyard in the historical context, but we've also got a bit of Stag here. The handle is made from Stag. If we draw the knife here, the sheath is extremely simple. It's basically just a piece of folded leather. I don't know why they do this, but you can see there that the sheath is considerably longer than the knife itself. That's something I personally don't like. Now, one thing I'd like to draw your attention to on this knife, it's quite a really loose fit. Obviously there's zero retention in there. I don't know how much that actually matters. I mean, I don't know how this historically would have been worn. I would imagine from this, but if you notice, that's how it balances, and with that loose fit, I would imagine that it would fall out quite easily, especially if you were running. I believe this was a fighting knife, but obviously if I was to tip that, then it would fall out, especially if you were running. Anyway, the sheath aside, it's actually quite a nice knife. It does feel quite unusual. It looks quite unusual, but it actually feels quite nice, and to be honest, this would probably be an extremely effective bushcraft knife, especially with that being Scandi ground. It being Scandi ground, of course, shouldn't really be much of a surprise being a Viking knife. On one side of the knife here, we have 4 pieces of file work. That's not something I'm really a fan of. I don't know if the original ones would, I mean obviously this is a modern reproduction. I don't know if the originals would have had anything fancy like that. To be really honest with you, I know very little about this sort of knife. In fact, I didn't even know what it was until he showed me. The spine is quite thick. I don't even know what kind of blade shape you would call that. It's a Seax. That's all I could really say, because I don't know anything about it, and I've not really seen one of these before. I just thought I would share it with you like I would any other knife, especially while I had the chance, as this isn't mine. We've got a piece of material here. I think that's leather that they've somehow hardened. It is quite hard, but I don't know what it is. It looks like leather. It's certainly a separate piece from the handle. Now, in terms of blade steel, not a bloody clue. Couldn't tell you. I would assume that this is probably made from, a used saw blade or something like that. As for where did this come from, I don't remember. I think he said Royal Armouries in Edinburgh. Problem with that is Royal Armouries isn't in Edinburgh, it's in Leeds. Maybe he's getting mixed up with a few of the other knife and sword makers in Edinburgh, because there is a few. And if memory serves, this was about £75. But again, it's not my knife, so I couldn't really say. In terms of sharpness, in the middle it's kind of sharp. At the tip it's very blunt, and towards the handle it's very blunt, which is why I've got it. He wants me to try and sharpen it, and I'll try my best to do so. I think he's already tried himself to sharpen it as well as polish the edge. Hopefully I'll be able to get it nice and sharp. I think that's really all I could say about this knife, because truth be told I know nothing about it. Anyway, I thought that would be interesting. Cheers for watching.